It takes one tornado, and usually it only takes about 30 seconds to take everything you've got to change your life totally. We're in live severe weather coverage watching a large wedge tornado moving into Tuscaloosa as we speak.
I don't care how much you train, how much you think you're prepared. When an event of this magnitude happens to you, it's very chaotic. There's a lot of things happening at once, and it's happening very quickly.
This is a large, violent tornado that is approaching downtown Tuscaloosa from the southwest.
This is a tornado that is going to be doing a lot of damage. Folks, this is a violent tornado. This is really violent.
That's coming over near Interstate 359 in Skyland. Nobody should be out there. This will be a day that will go down in state history.
So April 27, 2011 was a special day in terms of a severe weather outbreak setup. Everything was there. My day started really early that morning. We had a morning round of severe weather, actually a tornado outbreak early in the day, began at about 3 o'clock in the morning and continued into about mid-morning for our local area. And we had widespread wind damage, trees and power lines down. A lot of people were out of power, and we had several tornadoes even in Tuscaloosa County in this area.
We knew we weren't out of the woods, but still I was not expecting what actually happened and the magnitude of the event that occurred.
We knew people could die on a day like that. The tornadoes were just so large. Even if you're in a brick house, we knew with tornadoes like that, if you're not below ground, the chance of survival is low. And we did our best to warn people that this is as serious as it gets.
What struck me about it when I came into work is all the power was out at City Hall. And that's the only time in 15 years power's ever been out at City Hall. Our generator system failed that morning, and we're glad that it did because it revealed a short. It's better that it failed that morning than that afternoon. Throughout the day, you continue to get the weather updates and the reports. We had activated our incident command model. But really what struck me is we were in this room when our incident command, it was under renovation at the time. It was all like, could you pick the one moment in Tuscaloosa's history to have your incident command under renovation? And it happened directly on that day. And we were watching the storms on those televisions. And I remember watching Coleman getting hit and thinking, yeah, Mayor's got this.
At that point, we knew this was going to be a big deal because every single storm that developed back in East Mississippi and West Alabama was dropping a large tornado. And I don't think there was one supercell that day that did not have a confirmed tornado with it. We had a little bit of a lull period there where the sun came out, and that's where there's kind of some mixed messages. Some people thought that, hey, it came early, the event's over. It came earlier than expected, but the afternoon round was what was supposed to be so severe and so serious, and we were trying our best to reach people to warn them what was coming during the afternoon. So it was kind of hard to reach people because so many people were out of power from the morning round.
2011 for me was totally different than any other city leaders that were in Tuscaloosa at the time. 8 weeks prior to the tornado, I had open heart surgery. During the month of April, I was on light duty, if you will. So I went on to my cardiac, my rehab appointment. I was actually at home. My wife was commuting from Birmingham that afternoon when this tornado was actually sighted coming into the city. So
I'll never forget the feeling of watching the tornado live on our camera. We have a camera that's on top of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and the camera is on top of our TV station. So we're not safely 40, 50, 60 miles away watching on a random camera. We were literally watching outside of our rooftop. I'll never forget the moment we saw the tornado initially touch down, the chill that ran down my back.
Talk to us.
Wedge tornado coming in at Tuscaloosa.
We had the tornado on the ground.
It got so large so fast. This tornado went from what appeared to be a small tornado to a big violent wedge within 30 seconds.
We knew Station 4 was in the path. We were able to get in touch with them on the radio and get them back to the station, which we were able to do in time for them to take shelter in the shower and get a mattress on top of them. And then, of course, the fire station took a direct hit. As they would, they immediately were able to get back out, get themselves out, and start searching and actually rescuing and finding people immediately when they walked out the back door.
At the same time I was on air, the tornado went over my house. It took everything. When I got to my house, I didn't even know I was there. I was lost. Everything looked totally different. The only reason I knew I was there is because of the speed table on 13th Street East. Still had my suit on, had my microphone on me. I actually had a couple of people stop me and say, "We were watching you as the tornado hit, and you're the last thing we saw." I had somebody give me a hug randomly, saying that they were watching when the tornado hit. And man, I was in tears. And then a weird kind of sensation went over me that, where am I going to go after this? You know, I can't just go home after the severe weather's over. I don't have anywhere to go. Where do I go?
The first 24 hours, I'm not certain everyone in Tuscaloosa really understood the impact. Cable was out, power was out. We go out and we go down University Boulevard and we go by the Strip, and there's just kids out there like a normal Thursday afternoon, just, you know, drinking, having a good time, what college kids do, right? I'd been out there too if I was in college. And then you go a mile and a half down the road and you hit Alberta and it's gone. It's like the fist of God had just slammed down upon it. And people bleeding and walking themselves to the hospital. You can't get anyone to answer. I mean, it was just chaos.
Hey, are people okay?
I don't know. I can't.
Nate, we gotta.
I can't call nobody.
We gotta go help, dude. We
gotta get up. Oh my God.
It just went right through.
What number you need?
It just went right through the city
911. Somebody.
Hey, the police are all over the place.
Oh.
And literally 10 minutes after the tornado hit, there were people coming out of the rubble, what was left of their home, literally piles of boards, and the smells were so strong, I'll never forget that. And the sounds, the sirens, I mean, it was so eerie. I mean, it gives you nightmares thinking about it.
To my fellow citizens who are hurting tonight, in the days, weeks, and months ahead, the city will rise to meet these challenges by dedicating every available resource. In our journey towards recovery, it will be long and it will be difficult, given the massive scale of destruction we have experienced. However, please know that we will not be alone.
The challenge early on, though, was being able to access those areas with the trees down, the wires down, the power poles down, the cars in the street. I mean, it was just total destruction. And I was going to try to go out to 15th Street. And when I started getting closer, I realized that I wasn't going to be able to get through. I wasn't going to be able to drive close enough to get there.
You went from this cascading of problems that were just unbelievable, that one of those problems in and of itself would dominate you for weeks. Now you had 24 of them simultaneously.
Even though we had the right personnel in place at the time, it was very overwhelming, especially that first night. We were expecting a large number of fatalities. We were actually preparing for a couple of hundred. The people in the community were outstanding. The thing that they were able to do for us was something that we couldn't do for ourselves, and that they were our eyes and ears in the community. So that gave us extremely important information when we were searching. People were taking people to the hospital in their pickup trucks. They were taking people to the hospital, carrying them on doors, carrying them in chairs. In some cases, we didn't have anything to carry them on. They were walking with them to the hospital. Everybody just come together. Everybody forgot about their own problems. It was just everybody helping everybody, and it was the way that I think everybody got through that first 12, 13, 14 hours.
We look back and say, could we have done anything different with our messaging, our warning? What could we have done different to help out? There's nothing I could have done to physically get people to go to their safe place, to their storm shelter. There's nothing I could have done. We begged and begged and begged people. You know, this is the real deal. This is a violent tornado, and all we could do is hope that people took the warning serious and did something.
And this is my hometown. I was born and raised here, but it connected me in a deep way. That it's very personal, and I take that as a badge of honor. But it changed all of us. There are victories along the way, and we have celebrated those victories along the way. But this is a day to remember, especially those who were hurt the most. And I think I wanted to keep that in focus.
I do look back at what happened, and there's kind of a proud moment that we made it through. You know, we made it to 10 years, and life is much better now. But it is a sad moment in our history, and it's a moment in our history that something tragic happened, and we can't forget that. You know, even after we get past the 10-year anniversary, we've got to remember that. And every time we have severe weather, people always ask, is this going to be like April 27, 2011? That's the go-to question every time there's a chance for a tornado. And the honest answer is no, it's not, but the truth is it only takes one tornado. We had 62 tornadoes in Alabama that day, April 27, 2011. That's never happened before in recorded history since we've been taking the statistics on tornadoes. That's never happened before. In 30 seconds, your life can be changed in just a blink of an eye. So we always tell people, every time there's a chance for a tornado, treat it like if there could be one like that day. It's not going to be 62 tornadoes. We most likely will never experience that again. But the important thing is to take warning serious. Treat them as if that tornado could be coming for you. Even if there's not going to be 62, there will be some out there. And we want people to not be complacent with that and take warning serious every time there is one in the future.